Armory in Washington, D.C., live on Showtime. I am going to turn it over to Leonard Ellerbe, CEO of Mayweather Promotions. I did want to just tell everybody, keep an eye on your inboxes. Later this week, you'll be getting a Fight Week schedule for the events taking place next week for this exciting bout. So without further ado, Leonard Ellerbe, CEO of Mayweather Promotions.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, everyone. It's a bright, sunny, beautiful day here in Las Vegas. Thank you all for joining the call today. I just want to go over a few fight facts real quickly. Tickets are on sale now, and they start as low as $25. They can be purchased online at Ticketmaster in all Ticketmaster locations. Our event will be live on Showtime Championship Boxing at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. We'll be bringing you a doubleheader of the super middleweight title fights. And our event is promoted by Mayweather Promotions in association with ITRBoxing and Matchroom Boxing. And the main event will feature Badou Jack versus Lucian Bute for the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. And also on the card will be another very exciting televised bout, and it will be featuring the IBF Super Middleweight World Champion, James DeGale.
On prend un pari que les médias québécois qui vont se poser plus de questions encore une fois.
Hello?
Ça arrive tout le temps.
Go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead.
Okay. James DeGale will be fighting his mandatory challenger, Rogelio Medina. And the winners, all four fighters, have agreed to meet in a super middleweight unification fight later this year. And we will have all four fighters on the call today to talk about their upcoming bouts and answer questions from the media. So first up, I'd like to introduce Lucian Bute. He comes to us with a 32-3 record with 25 big KOs. He's fighting out of Montreal, Canada, by way of Romania. He's a former IBF champion with 9 title defenses between 2007 and 2012. His most recent performance against James DeGale, which was a very exciting bout, who will be also fighting in the co-main event, was very impressive and earned him the right for this title shot. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Lucian Bute.
Hi, everybody.
Lucian, can you say an opening comment about camp or how you feel about this fight?
My training camp is going very well. I feel very, very good, very comfortable, very confident for this fight. All my hard work is pretty done. Just we have a few days here in Montreal, and next week we coming in Washington D.C. Everything is going well.
Good. Okay. Next up, I'd like to introduce the WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, none other than Badou Jack. He's coming to us with a 20-1 record with 12 big KOs, and he's fighting out of Las Vegas by way of Stockholm, Sweden. He's Mayweather Promotions' top fighter, and he won the WBC Super Middleweight title with a 12-round majority decision over Anthony Durrell last April, and he retained his belt when he faced George Grove last September on the Mayweather-Berto undercard, which was a very exciting fight. So, Badou, would you like to say a few opening words?
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm very excited for this fight. You know, we've been training for more than 12 weeks. We're definitely ready. All the hard work is done, and I can't wait to fight night. I'm very, very excited. Lucian Bute is a very tough opponent, so I got to bring my A game, and I think we're going to put up a very good fight, a fan-friendly fight for the fans. Thank you.
Thank you, Badou. So we would like to open it up for to the media for questions and answers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star one on your phone. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star one on your phone. Our first question is from Eddie with No Holds Barred. Eddie, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First question for Badou Jack. You're going into this fight, I think maybe a little bit less known than Lucian Bute, but you've had great success in the last year or two. Can you talk about your approach to this fight, how you think you're going to be able to win and retain the title?
I always believe in myself. That's the main thing. I ain't trying to be fighting like no other fighter. I'm trying to do what I can do, just to win. So I'm excited. I know I got probably the toughest test of my career, and I'm excited. I just want to fight. Just want to win and do my thing. I'm very, very comfortable that I'm going to be there.
You've defeated some very experienced opponents recently in Durrell and Groves, but he's somebody that's been around longer. What do you think are your advantages in this fight?
I think I'm a little bit younger, 3 years younger, I think. I'm a little fresher, I think. But, he got a lot of experience. He got way more experience than both Durrell and Groves. So you never know. It's boxing. It's a hurt business, and anything can happen. But we've been training real hard, so we are ready.
Okay, and a similar question for Lucien. You're the veteran in this fight, but you're coming off the decision loss to DeGale in the last fight. Tell us why you think you're going to be able to win this fight and capture this title.
And like I said, my confidence before the fight with DeGale was not 100%. Now is back 100%. I feel good. I feel strong. The training camp is going very well. I feel very comfortable. I think it's a big opportunity for me to become world champion for the second time, and I will do that in April 30 in Washington. I'm very confident with that.
What happened before the DeGale fight? Was it the fact that you had one fight before that? Was the fact that you had that long layoff between the beginning of 2014 and the end of 2015 and then to 2012? Did that set you back and you needed time to get back on track?
And in this period, after the Carl Froch fight, I had some injury, and I was not comfortable with my training camp. I had a long period to break, and when I start, I feel healthy. I'm healthy in this moment. Everything is going well. I had one fight before DeGale, like a tuna fight with Italian guy De Luisa, and with James DeGale, I think I look good, and everybody saw I'm very competitive in the high level fights.
Our next question is from Corey Erdman with Boxing Scene. Corey, please go ahead.
All right, first question is for Lucian. Lucian, bonjour, comment ça va?
Ça va très bien, good.
My question for you is that you're fighting on the road again in Washington against Badou Jack, and the last time really that we saw you on the road away from home in Canada was against Carl Froch. What did you learn in that fight that maybe you're taking into this fight about how to manage the pressures of fighting away from home?
Yes, because the fight was in my hometown. The people was behind me. It was like 10,000 people, and my last fight for the title fight was in 2012, and the pressure was in me. If I don't have the title, the pressure was in my shoulder. But now it's different things. The champion is Badou Jack. It's in United States. The fight in Washington, and the pressure is in his shoulder. I'm very comfortable with that. I have no pressure. I coming in Washington, looking forward to become world champion in April 30.
Now, this will be your third fight working with new trainers with Howard and Otis Grant. In what way have they changed you as a fighter? How has your style changed, in your opinion, now that you've been working with them?
Yeah, with my trainer, with Howard, with Otis, we work very hard in the last year. We start to have a chemistry. We understand just looking each other, and we work very hard. I'm very more aggressive in the ring. Move my head, let my hand go, and I feel very comfortable with this, like Lucian Bute in the beginning.
All right, and this question is for Badou. Badou, we've now seen your two career best performances now back to back after a lot of people wrote you off after the loss to Derek Edwards. What did Floyd Mayweather say or do for you to help you bounce back the way that you have?
He just said that, anybody can get caught with a good punch. I know you're better than that guy you lost to. Just keep your head up and bounce back. And it was nothing that he really had to help me to bounce back. I mean, it's boxing. Anything can happen. And a loss, and I proved that was just like a lucky punch or accident or whatever. And, I proved that in my last couple of fights. So everything's good. It's just a blessing. It was actually a blessing because people are overlooking me because of that loss. So that's the limit.
Well, what does it feel like for you then? Last question. What does it feel like for you then, having been in the background and having people overlook you, to now be in a headlining role on Showtime in a fight coming up?
Like I said, it's a blessing. I'm very, very comfortable, very happy, and I'm glad that my opponent is very confident too. That's what we want him to be. Just like the last two opponents, it was very confident. So I'm looking forward to a great fight.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Our next question is from Bill Beacon with Canadian Press. Bill, please go ahead.
Yes, the same question for both fighters is, how do you like this tournament situation you're in? It's almost like a semifinal where the winners will face one another in a unification bout. Mr. Jack and after Mr. Bute, if you could ask, just how do you feel about that, fighting with the guy that on the same card as the guy you will fight next?
Should I answer it first?
Yeah.
It's something to look forward to, but you got to respect your opponent. You got to respect what's in front of you. That's Lucian Bute. That's a very tough guy. So I'm thinking about him right now. That's all the focus on him. But after that, we can talk about the next fight. Yeah, I'm excited.
Great. And Lucian, what do you feel about it?
I feel great. It's a big opportunity. But like Badou, he said, I'm very focused, very concentrated in this fight. If I take this belt, after that, we're looking forward to have an opportunity to unify the fight. I will love to have a chance to unify the fight. But I'm very, very focused in April 30.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Our next question is from Fred Daigle with Canadian Press. Fred, please go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. The question is for Badou Jack. You, unless I'm mistaken, I think you fought only one lefty in your career. How did you prepare for a strong puncher, a strong left-handed puncher like Lucian Bute?
Well, in the amateurs I fought a lot of southpaw, but in the pros I only fought one. And we got some good southpaw sparring. I don't have problems, fighting southpaws. I got a good right hand. I like fighting southpaws.
And if I can come back on this tournament situation, on you told Boxing Scene last week or 2 weeks ago that you were looking forward ahead to beating Bute, then beating the Gale and moving up to face Adonis Stevenson. Do you usually fighters don't like to look far ahead like that? Are you taking maybe a bit too lightly this next fight against Bute?
Absolutely not. I never said that. So I said all my focus, like I just answered the other question. I'm fully focused on Lucian Bute, and James Miguel gotta beat his guy too. So right now the only focus is Bute. After that we see what's next. But in the future I'll definitely move up to light heavyweight.
Our next question is from Keith Idek with the Record. Keith, please go ahead.
Yes, my question is for Badou. Badou, I was just wondering if you are able to beat Lucian and you wind up fighting DeGale, how much does it help to fight southpaws back-to-back and kind of get into a rhythm of training for a southpaw and back-to-back fights?
I don't know till we're done with this fight, but it's good to prepare against a southpaw. But like I said, it's a very tough fight, so I'm not looking at it as a sparring session or anything. I got a world-class fighter that I got to beat first. Then we'll see.
How did you think that Lucian Bute looked against DeGale, and if you could just kind of assess DeGale as a fighter as well as a guy you might wind up fighting?
He looked good. People wrote him off like they did with me. They thought DeGale was gonna blow him up in a couple of rounds, but he looked good. That's why he got the opportunity to fight again for the title, because he looked that good. And I think his style and my style will match, perfectly. He likes to fight, I like to fight, and we both got boxing skills as well. So I'm excited. And James DeGale is a very good fighter too. He's got a lot of skills, speed, Olympic gold medalist. He deserves a lot of credit. He went to Boston, to the guy's hometown, to Canada. He's a good fighter. Another very good fighter.
Were you more impressed with his win over Lucian Bute or Durrell?
Sorry? Say that again, sorry?
I'm sorry. I said, were you more impressed with his win over Durrell or Lucian Bute?
They both similar opponents, I think. DeGale, what's his name? Durrell, I don't think he's been that active, before that fight. I don't know. But Lucian Bute is a former champion. He's defending it a lot of times. Durrell was never a world champion, even though he's on that level. But both were a pretty good fight.
DeGale's obviously fighting the same night as you on the same card. What do you think of his fight? And obviously he's a heavy favorite. What do you think of that fight?
As far as talent and skill, he's way better. But I'm for Medina, even though I knocked him up. Like, I know what kind of tough guy he is. He's mentally very strong, and he can punch, and he's dangerous. So James DeGale, I would not overlook him. Focus on what's in front of you, because this guy is dangerous. But I think he'll win, but he just got to be careful.
Thank you, Badou.
This is the last question for this group. Yeah, go ahead.
Our final question is from Herb Zurkowski with Montreal Gazette newspaper. Herb, please go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. Thanks, gentlemen, for your time. I appreciate it. This is for Badou Jack as well. You kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but Lucian keeps saying the same thing about you, that you're a good boxer, but you're not exceptional, and that you make mistakes. What is your reaction to those comments?
That's exactly what I want to hear. You know, that's what my last opponent said. It looked easy from the outside, but when you're in there, I have good fundamentals. I always in great shape. I know how to break an opponent down. But you know, not everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And that's his opinion. That's good. That's good for me.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're going to wrap this portion up. Leonard, if you want to make any closing comments, the fighters who want to make closing comments, then we can move on to DeGale and Medina.
I would just like to just comment that both fighters have been having excellent camps thus far. Both fighters are really looking forward to the fight on April the 30th. Both guys have a tremendous amount of experience. We know that Lucian Bute, he comes prepared. He's a former world champion, and he'll be coming to take away Badou's belt. Badou, on the other hand, he feels very, very good being world champion, and he's made a vow that nobody's going to take his title away from him. So we're going to have an excellent fight come April the 30th, and I'm very excited.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. I do know we have Eddie Hearn and James DeGale on the line. I'm not sure if Rogelio Medina's on yet. So, Leonard, if you want to introduce Eddie Hearn, and then we can go from there.
Hold on one second. Okay, we're now going to shift over to the co-main event, which is a very exciting matchup. We have James DeGale and Rogelio Medina. The winner of this fight will take on the winner of Jack versus Bute in a super middleweight unification later this year. I first off like to introduce Rogelio Medina, just to say a few comments. He comes to us with a 36-6 record with 30 big KOs. He's fighting out of St. Louis, Colorado, Mexico. He's a hard-hitting veteran with 30 knockouts. So, Rogelio, can you say a few words for us, please?
I believe Rogelio has a translator on. Is Juan Hernandez on to translate? Leonard, why don't you introduce Eddie Hearn while we figure out this Rogelio situation?
Next up, I would like to introduce our promotional partner, a very dear friend, in my opinion, one of the top promoters in the world, definitely the top promoter internationally. He's done a phenomenal job with all of his fighters. He has a tremendous stable. I'm very, very impressed with all the work that he's done with his stable of fighters over there. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce James DeGale's promoter, none other than Eddie Hearn, the managing director of Massachusetts.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on the phone. It's a pleasure to be involved with the show. Very interested to hear the comments of Lucian Bute, who I know very well, and Badou Jack. I think you can't sleep in on that fight. That is a great fight. I think it's a really, really tough fight for Badou Jack. You know, I think James DeGale has a tough fight with Rogelio Medina. But for sure, that fight between Badou Jack and Lucian Bute is a wonderful fight. I think the styles will mix perfectly for a very, very interesting fight. Of course, we saw Badou Jack have a great victory over Londoner George Groves, who is still attempting to win a world title. But the interesting thing about this tournament, it has the feel of an old Super 6 style, where the best fought the best. And I think it's wonderful for boxing that the whole world can watch, almost like we said there, a semi-final between 4 of the top super middleweights in the world, and the winners will go on to fight the winners. Of course, I'm biased, but in every tournament you have a seed, and the number 1 seed in this tournament is James DeGale. I think rightfully so, he's been instated as the number 1 super middleweight in the division. Now that Arthur Abraham has lost, even before Arthur Abraham lost, I feel like he was the number 1 super middleweight in the division. But when you look at these 4 fighters, I believe he's the one that is shining the brightest in the 168-pound division. I think the win over Andre Durrell was massively underrated. I think the win against Lucian Bute was underrated and was also in Quebec City. And the Durrell fight was in Boston. This is not a guy who's sitting on home comfort. This is not a guy who's relying on hometown decisions. This is a road warrior that's travelling around the world to fight the very best, which is very, very unique in boxing today. So I'm really excited about DeGale Medina. I was interested to hear Badou Jack's comments, and I know that James won't take Medina lightly. I know he's a big favourite in the fight, but I think his confidence is growing and growing and growing. He's a colourful character in and out of the ring. I think you're going to see a wonderful performance on April the 30th in Washington. And I think just you're going to see a Jack victory against Lucian, but I think it's a very close fight. And then hopefully everybody can get what they want. DeGale against Jack in a unification for all the belts. There's not enough unification fights happening in world boxing these days. There's too much politics. But here, like you said, we have this tournament structure where these guys are ready to fight, ready to meet. And I hope they both come through, because I can't wait to see that fight. And I can't wait to see, finally, James DeGale get the recognition as the number 168-pounder in the world. So it's a pleasure to be working with Mayweather Promotions. Of course, Showtime as well. Sky Sports. And I'm really excited to be out in Washington. Not been there for a fight before. I've heard wonderful things. And be ready for a great night of 168-pound action. And 2 great fights, and hopefully the unification fight that everybody wants. Thank you.
Leonard, do you want to read the DeGale fight back and introduce him? And I believe Rogelio's on the line, but go ahead with that, and then I'll confirm that in a second.
Can you hear me, Lisa?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Loud and clear. If you want to introduce James.
Yeah, you want me to do that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I didn't realise the main man was on the phone. Number 168-pounder, travelling all over the world to beat the best. Currently, probably sitting on a beach in Miami, tapering down after another great camp with his trainer, Jim McDonnell. The current IBF super middleweight champion of the world, James Chunky DeGale.
The champ. Right, yeah, no, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling real good. I trained extremely hard, as always. Feeling good, and I can't wait for the 30th. I'm not looking past Medina. He's a very good fighter, a tough fighter in his own right. Every time he stepped up to the highest level, he's lost. And on the 30th of April, he's going to lose again, and I'm going to look unbelievable. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm going to look unbelievable. So, listen, I know I'm the best 168 out there. I know I'm the best 218 out there, but I need to prove it, and I'm willing to do that.
Very good. We're excited.
I think we should open it up for questions while I confirm that Rogelio Medina is not on, correct? Juan Hernandez, correct? Okay.
No, he hasn't
operator,
just yet.
Yeah, operator, let's open it up for questions for James DeGale.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press *1 on your phone. Again, if you have any questions, please press *1 on your phone.
Business, I'm ringing the phone. Hello?
Our first question is from Jean-Francois Chabot. Jean-Francois, please go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, James. You've fought on other boxers' turf again. You being from the UK, you're fighting away from home once again. How easy is it getting? How much easier is it getting for you to get into the ring, not in front of your home crowd?
I'm used to it, if I'm being honest. Listen, I won my Olympic gold medal away from home. I won my world title away from home. I'm actually getting used to it. That's what I'm saying. So this is why I keep on telling you people, you lot got to start knowing me as the road warrior, because I'm willing to go anywhere, to fight anywhere, and to prove I'm the best. But listen, my homecoming's coming as well. Yeah, that's coming very soon. Once I beat Medina on the 30th of April, I want the unification bout in London in front of my home people. Hopefully, Al and Eddie Hearn can make that happen.
Would that be as early as September?
Yeah, well, I'm ready. Listen, I'm ready to go as soon as I'm going to come through this with no bumps, no swelling. So I'm ready to go. September time's perfect for me.
How much of a motivation factor is this tournament-like event of April 30th for you?
It's good. It's good. This is what boxing needs. The best boxing, the best. As I say, all I want to do is win titles, and add the WBC title to my IBF would be fantastic, because these days there's not many unification fights because people don't want to fight the best. But there's 4 fighters that have come together in like a little tournament, like a mini tournament, and they're going to see who the best is.
And my final question, Lucian Bute keeps mentioning the fact that the fight he had against you made this new world title fight for him possible, that he was very happy with his performance. How do you look at the possible perspective of having to fight Lucian once again in the fall?
If I'm being honest, I don't really want to fight Lucian Bute again. I think I beat him last time, and I beat him pretty well. It was pretty convincing, and I had everything against me as well, and I still beat him well. I want to box a new world champion, someone like Badou Jack. I think that's the clash of styles would be fantastic. We're both hungry, we're both young, and we're peaking. I think it'd be a fantastic fight. But if Lucian Bute wins, and he wins in fashion, we can do it again, as I say. But this time round, we'll do it in London.
Our next question is from Keith Idek with a record. Keith, please go ahead.
Yes, James, I was just wondering what you think of Badou Jack and how he's kind of come along as a world champion, particularly in his last fight against George Groves, and how you think a fight against him would go.
Listen, I think Badou Jack's a very good fighter. I think he's come on as he's become world champion. He's grown in confidence, and he's become a better all-round fighter. A couple fights ago, even I underrated him. I thought he wasn't all that, but he's proven in his last couple fights against Groves and against Burrell that the guy is a worthy world champion, and he can fight. But as I said, I'm the best super middleweight in the world, and I'm willing to prove that. So yeah.
What do you expect, James, to happen in the fight between Bute and Badou Jack?
I expect the fight to be competitive because Lucian Bute ain't a finished fighter. He's still got it, as you see against me, but he just come up just that bit short. He just didn't have it. But Lucian Bute is a very good fighter. It should be competitive. I edge Badou Jack, and I think he's going to win. But it wouldn't surprise me if Bute pulls it off.
Thanks, James.
Our next question is from Eddie Goldman with No Holds Barred. Eddie, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. James, I want to ask you about this fight. You have to face the mandatory Medina, who's coming in. Everybody's pretty much writing him off based on his record and all this. What do you know about him? Because he's going to be going in with absolutely nothing to lose. He's expected to lose this fight.
Yeah. Okay, I know that he's a typical Mexican, a tough Mexican. I know he loves to have a fight. He's tough, he's strong, he's game. But every time he stepped up to the highest level, right, he's lost. He's been stopped or he's lost. I'm not overlooking him. I've trained extremely hard. I'm gonna win and look good. I'm looking to put on a proper show, like a good standout performance.
Are you going to, in your mind, try to compare your performance against him to Badou Jack's? Because he scored a TKO against him in 2013. So you obviously can't do that. It's not. But are you going to get in your mind that you want to go for a knockout to make that point?
Yeah. Listen, if the knockout comes, it comes. But the way I'm feeling and my momentum, the way I'm feeling in the gym, my confidence, it's sky high. It's sky high. And someone, like, as I said before, no disrespect to Medina. He's a good fighter in his own right. But I'm a couple levels above him. I'm elite. I'm an elite fighter. And as I say, I'm the best in the division. So I should have no problems in the 30th.
And do you also have to watch out for, well, the tournament idea is great, but, you know, you can't put the cart before the horse. How do you just focus on this fight and then take care of what happens afterwards?
Listen, I'm a true professional. I'm fully focused. And I take one fight as it comes. And the first step is Porky Medina. But I'll be ready for that. And then we can move on to the next fight.
Do you want to make a prediction for the fight?
I don't really. Well, actually, I do like making predictions, but my last couple have been wrong. But let's have a bit of fun and make one. Again, I say within 6 rounds, I'm going to stop Porky Medina.
Okay, thank you. Good luck in the fight, and I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Just checking. Do we have Rogelio Medina on? I'm thinking. No. Okay. Continue with questions for James DeGale. Thank you.
Our next question is from Stefan Charcot with TVA Sports. Stefan, please go ahead.
The question was asked earlier. I want to have the comments and the thought of James about the fight between Badou and Lucian. So he already responds, so it's okay. Is Lucian, by the way, is Lucian still there?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, because I did want to ask him a question in French for a French viewer, and anytime you went to me, so.
Okay, sorry, sir. Next time. Operator, next question, please. Thank you.
Our next question is from Fred Daigle with Canadian Press. Fred, please go ahead.
Yes, thanks for the time, James and Eddie. James, you said you'd rather Badou Jack to win against Lucian because you already fought Lucian. But would you think about not going for the unification fight if Lucian wins it and just maybe challenge one of the other champions in the other organizations?
Maybe it depends. But I want that WBC. It's been around for years. It's one of the oldest belts, and it's probably the most prestigious belt. So I want to add that to my collection. So if Lucian Bute win, we can do it. But next time we do it in London. It's simple.
Yeah, and are you planning? Badou said earlier that he's planning to moving on into the light heavyweight. Before moving upward, would you rather try to get the 4 belts at 168 before moving up?
Yep, I would love that. As I say, I just want to prove to everyone that I'm the best at super middleweight first. So I want to box everyone at super middleweight. There's a possibility of not that heavy, but first of all, I want to clear up the super middleweight division.
And both you and Eddie said that having some kind of a tournament like that is good for boxing. We had that a few years ago with the Super 6 tournament. Would you like to see more of those?
I would. As I say before, that unification fights rarely happen these days. It's pretty sad. But, yeah, I would like to see that in every way. In every way. The best boxing the best. The champions boxing champions. That's how boxing should be.
Thank you. See you next week in Washington.
Okay, thank you. See you next week, boss.
Our final question is from Benoit Leo with QMI Agency. Benoit, go ahead, please.
Yeah, James, if you had one advice to Badou Jack for win against Bute, what could you say to him?
Don't be, what should I say to him? Just be fully focused and don't overlook Lucian Bute, because he's still a force in the super middleweight division, and he's still got a bit left. So as I say, he's got to be switched on and fully focused.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, James, for those wonderful comments. I'd just like to touch on. I'm very, very excited for your fight with Rogelio. I know it's going to be a very, very exciting fight. Obviously, Badou's looking very forward to fighting Lucian. I just wanted to add, he's been begging me. When I say begging me. If he gets past Bute, he's very, very excited, looking forward to fighting you.
Oh, fantastic. I hope you are a man to your word. I hope you and you and Badou Jack are a man to your word. That'd be a fantastic fight. And for us to, if he comes through it, for us to unify the division, that would be an honor, trust me. But as I said before, I'm the best in the division, and I want to prove it. So I can't wait.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Eddie, for your wonderful comments also.
Thank you, Leonard. I'll call you later. Okay, later. Later.
All right, I think that concludes our call. Leonard, if you want to make any other closing comments, and thank you all to the media for joining us.
Yes, I would like to thank everyone for joining us on this wonderful call today. We have a very, very exciting card, as you've heard from the fighters, on April the 30th in Washington, D.C. This fight will be immediately following the PBC on Fox show, which will feature headline Andre Berto versus Victor Ortiz. So that should be a tremendous fight. And I'd like to thank everyone again for joining the call.